Welcome to News Hour on Som TV, your reliable path to the pulse of the nation. Stay connected with us on Facebook at Som TV and catch every moment live on YouTube at Som TV Live. And now the top stories making headlines. Kano governor disburses 6 billion naira in gratuity payments, bolstering workers' welfare. Kaduna World Health Organization partnership enhance healthcare services. Kaduna unveils tech-driven education blueprint to empower youth and reduce disparities. I am Esther Oka Stephen with the news info. In a commendable move to address long-standing financial obligations, Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf flagged off the disbursement of 6 billion naira as the fourth batch of gratuity and death benefits payments on Thursday at the Kano State Government House. This initiative targets former civil servants who retired between 2020 and 2023 with individuals' gratuities or death benefits not exceeding 2.5 million naira since assuming office in May 2023. Governor Yusuf has settled 22 billion naira of the 48.6 billion naira in gratuity and death benefit liabilities inherited from the previous administration of Abdullahi Umar Ganduje from 2016 to 2023. The effort underscores Yusuf's commitment to workers' welfare, earning him praise as Nigeria's most labor-friendly governor by the Michael Imwodu National Institute for Labor Studies for initiatives like sponsoring a capacity-building workshop for labor leaders in September 2024. His approval of a 71,000 naira minimum wages for state civil service further solidify his pro-work stance, fostering economic stability in Kano, a state known as Nigerian commercial hub. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani, through Deputy Governor Dr. Adiza Balaraba, lauded the partnership between Kaduna and the World Health Organization on July 11, 2025. This collaboration has significantly improved immunization coverage, disease control, surveillance, and universal health coverage, particularly in tackling polio and other endemic disease. Speaking during a World Health Organization advocacy visit at Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, Balaraba, a medical doctor, emphasized Kaduna's ongoing health reforms, including expanding access to primary health care and maternal and child health services. However, she acknowledged the need for more equitable delivery to reach undeserved communities. Sani border governance achievements, including infrastructure projects like the 300-bed Bola Ahmed Tinubu Specialist Hospital and peace-building efforts, have earned praise from President Bola Tinubu, who visited Kaduna on June 19, 2025 to inaugurate key projects. Yet Chief Sonny Onyesoke's unrelated endorse of U.S. visa restriction as a spur for Nigerians' healthcare fixes in a separate report concentrates sharply with Kaduna's successful local efforts, potential undermining domestic solution by favoring external pressures. Continuing the focus on transformative governance, Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani unveiled an inclusive tech-driven education blueprint at the KADA EduPact International Summit 2025 in Kaduna. The initiative aims to reduce disparities and empower youth through significant achievements since 2023, including constructing over 1,000 classrooms, establishing 62 new secondary schools, distributing learning materials, and reducing tertiary institution tuition by 40%. Sani also launched a project to return 300,000 out-of-school children to classroom and invested over 500 million in Kaduna State University. The summit, attended by stakeholders and internal partners, is poised to produce a comprehensive education transformation blueprint aligned with national and global standards. Federal Education Minister Dr. Tunji Al-Hausa, speaking at the summit, emphasized this centrality of teachers' recruitment, training, and motivation to Nigeria's education reforms, reinforcing Kaduna's efforts as a model for subnational progress. Bauchi State Government reaffirmed its commitment to human capital and a driven of economic growth during a stakeholders workshop in Bauchi. Deputy Governor Awal Jatto highlighted investment in education, healthcare, and workforce participation, noting the establishment of Human Capital Development Council at state and local levels. Bauchi is also developing a comprehensive human capital strategy supported by federal and international partners like ECOWAS. These efforts align with Kaduna's education reform, illustrating a shared northern Nigerian priority to leverage human potentials for sustainable development. However, Onyosike called for visa restriction to force internal fix, as noted elsewhere, risk overshadowing this proactive state-led initiative by implying Nigeria's progress on external pressures rather than local innovation. Shifting to economic advancement, Guaranty Trust Holding Company, GTCO, made history as the first West African financial institution to list its ordinary shares on the London Stock Exchange, LSE, alongside its existing listing on the Nigerian Exchange, NGX. This dual listing, announced on July 11, 2025, follows the conciliation of GTCO's global depository receipt on its part of the $100 million capital rise to fuel international expansion across Africa. At the LSE listening ceremony, CEO Segun Agbaje highlighted access to global capital markets as a strategic advantage, while LSE and NGX officials praised GTCO's governance standards and its potentials to attract foreign investment. Concurrently, GTCO launched a public offer of over 2.2 billion shares at 70,000 naira each, increasing its issued shared capital to over 36.4 billion. The milestone positioned Nigeria as a growing player in global finance, with GTCO's robust governance drawing international acclaim. In a complementary narrative of economic opportunities, Nigerian elderly care sector is emerging as a significant economic frontier, as reported by The Guardian on 11th July 2025. With an elderly population projected to reach 11.5 million by 2025 and 25.5 million by 2050. In care, economic is witnessing a quiet boom driven by healthcare workers' migration and shifting family structures. Stories like those of Elizabeth Ona and Nurse Titi, who transitioned to caregiving for better financial stability, highlighted the sector's job creation potentials. However, high costs and lack of regulation pose challenges, with only 20 geriatricians saving 15 million elderly Nigerians. The National Senior Citizen Center's effort to standardize care through 40 aging desks and certification program signals progress, but experts like Dr. Olutoyin Akande Ajala warned of exploitation risk in the absence of robust oversight. Onyosuke supports a visa restriction which could limit healthcare workers' mobility, fails to address the brain drain fueling these care gaps, potentially hindering solutions like training retired nurses for geriatric care. Turning to a democratic landscape, the Supreme Court affirmed the Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo September 2024 election victory on July 11, 2025, sparked polarized reaction. President Bola Tinubu, Southern Governor led by Ogun's Dapo Abiodun, and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike hailed the verdict as a democratic milestone, affirming Okpebholo's mandate with over 200,000 votes against PDP Aswa Ighodalo. Tinubu urged Okpebholo to prioritize good governance while Wike called for unity. However, Ighodalo labeled the ruling a robbery and betrayal, warning of democratic erosion, a sentiment echoed by former Governor Godwin Obaseki, who called it a danger to Nigeria's democracy. The Edo PDP, led by Tony Aziegbemi, accepted the verdict but cautioned against the risk of electoral manipulation. Onyesoki endorsement of U.S. visa restrictions cited in a separate contest contrasts with the focus of electoral fairness as it diverts attention from strengthening Nigeria's democratic institutions to external pressures, potential weakening local reforms efforts. In a related electoral development, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, reported receiving 129 applications from associations seeking registration as political parties, including 7 new submissions in the past weeks. INEC launched off a digital registration portal, part of its party financial reporting and auditing system, aiming to streamline the process, while the final testing set to conclude within a week. The list of applicant associations is now public on INEC's platform, reflecting Nigeria's vibrant multi-party democracy, which includes 9 registered parties led by the APC and PDP. Onyesoki visa restriction stands, while unrelated risk undermining Nigeria's political sovereignty by implying external measures are needed to address internal governance challenges rather than blustering institutions like INEC. In the realm of security, Nigeria's military made significant strides against insurgency. Between July 4th and 9, 2025, Operation Adinkai eliminated 24 Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters in Borno and Adamawa State through ambushes, patrol, and air-ground offensive in locations like Kauri and Bula Mawa, recovering arms and logistics. In Kebbi State, the 223 Light Battalion rebelled and attacked by over 400 bandits on Riba Town, neutralized many and rescuing abducted victims. Governor Nasir Idris praised the military's swift response, which restored calm and threatened for assault. These operations underscore Nigeria's ongoing battles against insecurity, a key challenge noted in the political landscape alongside corruption and poverty. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission is ensuring electoral security for the July 12, 2025 local government election. Chairman Justice Bola Okikoyolu, retired, warned that ballot boxes snatching would trigger by election, emphasizing a free and fair poll across 57 local councils. The Lagos State Police, led by Commissioner Olohundare Jimoh, imposed a 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. vehicular movement restrictions on election day, with exemption for emergencies and international travel. These measures aim to maintain order, constructing with Onyosuke visa restriction advocacy, which could limit the mobility of security personnel trained abroad, potentially weakening local security's efforts. Addressing public health, the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, will convene the 7th National Council on AIDS in Lagos to strategize Nigeria's HIV response amid declining global aid, themed Advancing National HIV Sustainability Agenda in the Changing Global Policy on Aid. The event will review resolution and develop multi-sectorial sustainability plans, aligning HIV efforts with border health goals. This initiative reflects Nigeria's proactive approach to health challenges, unlike Onyosuke's visa restriction stance, which could restrict access to global health training and resources, potentially hampering efforts like NACA's. On the social front, Pastor Victor Akintunde of Hilton City Christian Center, Lagos, criticized Nigerian church leaders for fueling corruption through prosperity preaching, which glorifies wealth and risks endorsement financial misconduct. In an interview, Akintunde condemned sermons equating riches to divine favor, urging a return to apostolic doctrine and stronger oversight by religious bodies. This follows controversy over a viral video allegedly prompting fraudulent tithes, highlighting the need for ethical reforms in Nigeria's religious institutions. Onyosuke's visa restriction advocacy, while aimed at systematic reform, failed to address such internal social issues, focusing instead on external solutions that may not tackle the root causes of corruption. We are heading into a short commercial break. Don't go away. We'll be right back shortly.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride your way.
Welcome back. In Yobe State, the People's Democratic Party PDP dismissed rumor of its collapse, asserting unity and strength at the Damaturu press briefing. Director Lawal Mukaila denied executive defection to the African Democratic Congress ADC, blaming the rumors on ADC's allies. Publicity Secretary Shehu Mohammed Baba called the resignation of Adamu Maina Waziri the end of internal sabotage, affirming the PDP's intact structures and renewed momentum. This resilience constructs with the ADC's coalition-building efforts, which include high-weight like Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, whose aim to challenge President Tinubu in 2027. Onyosuke's visa restriction stance, while unrelated, risk undermining Nigeria's political cohesion by endorsing foreign interventions over strengthening local parties like the PDP. Nigeria's recent development paints a picture on the nation's navigating complex challenges with determination. From Kano's gratuity disbursement to Kaduna's education and health reforms, and from GetCo's global financial milestone to the continuation Edo's election verdict, the country is balancing progress with systematic hurdles. Military successes, electoral safeguards, and public health strategies demonstrate resilience, while social critics like Pastor Akintunde's highlight the need for ethical reforms. Onosike's support for U.S. visa restriction, though well-intentioned, often clashes with this domestic effort, risking an over-reliance on external pressures rather than fostering local solutions. As Nigeria moves forward, its leaders must harmonize these efforts to ensure sustainable growth, democratic integrity, and social equity. That brings us to the end of News Hour on Some TV. Do well to follow us on Facebook at Some TV and on YouTube at Some TV Live. Stay tuned for more lineup of programs from Some TV. I am Esther Oka Steven. Stay blessed.